next little painting I'm going to do. And in this video, there are some colors in here that are not really in the real painting. It's not even in that screen shot. It's just showing up on this video, the pinks in the water, although they look kind of pretty. There's vaguely a little pink in there, but there's a lot more pink down here, only on this screen right here that I'm taking it. It's not actually there. Anyway, I'm mixing up some color right now, and I don't usually do this. I think it's kind of boring when people show you how they mix color, because my God, really? Anyway, I'm trying to kind of get a pale bluish purplish background with the tiniest little bit of purple in there and some more white. There's a lot of this color, so I'm mixing up quite a bit of it. Okay, let me just put a little down just to see. Not bad. There's some spots that have more light in it than others. Like over here, where I'll lighten that up. But for now, I just want to get this color down. I don't even have it mixed that well, because it really doesn't matter. This is water mixable oil. I'm not going to be too perfect about this. I just want to have an idea of where these birds are sitting. Just so they're placed sort of where I want them. They have to be redrawn. I like the way some of this is lighter in some patches, like real water would be. That's why I'm not mixing it up perfectly. There's some spots that have more light than others. Right along here, this is going to be very light as the water comes in this area. So in a minute, I'm going to put this down, and you'll just see it filming from back there. Just want to get something down on the canvas, or in this case, board. And we'll go over all this again. There's some pumice on here that I've used to get a little bit of a grab or a grit. And that is why it's going to soak up a little bit more than I want it to, but in a way that's kind of what I purposely did. Okay, now you're going to come in here and hit this with the darker stuff. Even though this is all sand, there's even a tiniest little bit of green in here. And will I add green? No, I'll add a little bit of yellow. A little more blue. All this I can lighten up. And will lighten up. Again, just holding the place where these birds are. I will go over them a little bit and work right into them. More blue, more yellow, more white. And I put this camera down. I can go ahead and get in here where I need to. I want to put the tiniest little bit of red in there. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And some more white. And get some of these little bit of pink in the corner here. There's some beautiful light spots that I'll be putting in, and some dark spots. But not yet. Just want to get this part covered. Then let's put this back over here. And we have some spots. All of these can be put in better. Just want to get the basic idea of where they're going to be. I don't want everything in thick just yet. Not just yet. Okay. I'm going to wipe that off. Rinse my brush with water. Okay, we'll work on that water a little more later on. We have some spots that are like almost white in certain areas, and one of those areas is right here. Where the dark meets the light. Right here. here. A little more there. Over here. Here it's more pink. Every time I do this, it drops, so if I scream, you'll know why. So the tide has pushed the seaweed up onto the sand, and that's what remains right there. Again before it's too late. Now that doesn't look like much right now. We let that dry a little bit so that we can go on from there, because we're going to be like streaking some of these beautiful light pieces in, going in that way. That way. Okay. I need a fairly firm brush to sketch in these birds when I get to the edges, but for right now, I want to take a little bit of this yellow and mix it with this blue and just get the beginnings of these sketches in. Not that one, because I don't like the way that one is drawn. I'll have to redo him. Always start from the middle of the bird and work your way out. You can correct the shape that way. And we're not trying to necessarily draw the bird like you would with paper and pencil. See, I have to fill in a lot more. This bird, no. Okay, this one here. This one here. Guy here. Actually, I think he needs to be a little lighter so he shows up. When he gets down here, he can go darker. I'm going to correct these, but I'm making it a little harder on myself than I need to. Okay, I'm going to look at a couple of these birds. There's a little guy back here I fudged out. He's going to have to get drawn back in. This one here, what is wrong with you? You have a head that is going this way, a beak that will go that way, Okay, so they're just blocked in. Now you have to go back and get some of the blue and the white and work your way back into the bird, because using the same pattern of the water, we have to fill this in. Then again, I will bring the bird back out over that. So I'm not going to do this perfectly. Down here there was this pretty blue. Now watch what I do here. Wait, first I want to get up here and really get in there. Okay. Of course, I don't want it there. I don't want that so thick. So you just correct like that. I actually don't want that there. I want that to go back further, okay? So I'm going to wipe that out. Now you can let some of this dry if you want to. I'm usually a person who just keeps on going. But this is how I get the birds blocked in better. I know I have to get some white swirls right up here, and I'll work them right into the bird. Okay, so these birds are fairly well covered, I think. Now that I have them in as sloppy as can be, I'm going to continue on the water and get that more like I want it. When I have the water more like I want it and the sand more like I want it, I will then go back to doing those birds, but they're blocked in now. So that's all I needed to do, was get them blocked in. Get this right here a little more. I want to get all that covered. And even over here, this is more of a greeny blue, so let me go back to that again. Okay, blocked in, first stage done. At this point, the painting shows a lot of promise, and it's my favorite part of the painting. Before I really have it in there, when it's just sort of foggy and I know what I'm looking to get. So here I'm scraping off some of the light reflections in the front of the birds where the water comes up on the shore, because I need to move it a little forward. I realize I do not have it as far up the beach as it should be, which is cutting off my ability to put the reflections of the birds in properly, or the length of their legs for that matter. So I completely go over this area and correct it. It's hard to correct things when you've got part of it the way you like, but you have to do it, or you will always look at that spot on the painting and have a problem with it, even if no one else sees it. So basically I've just sped this up a little bit, and you'll see me putting the reflections of the birds back in, adjusting their legs. The bird in the front has his bent leg off a little bit. I want to change that. Put some of the highlights and the shiny areas on the sand in again, since I just wiped them out. Once you get your painting in properly and everything where you want it, then you have to look at it and say, do I have my atmospheric perspective? Do I have my linear perspective? There are certain things I want to change on the painting a little bit. Things most people wouldn't notice, but I do not like the fact that the grasses that go back are as dark as they are, so I will lighten them a little. The birds in the back don't need to be detailed. They can be very faded, except for I want to put a few more highlights on them. And then the birds in the front, I'm going to work on their detail a little bit more. And I will work on some of the grasses in the front a little bit more, where the detail and the warmth need to be. It can be kind of frustrating watching myself paint because I see things that I changed that I wish I hadn't, or things that I haven't changed that I wish I had. So I'm sort of struggling while I'm watching myself as I edit this, because painting is work. Painting is going back and forth, rearranging, making mistakes, correcting mistakes, finding little mistakes that worked beautifully until you finally get it the way you want it. But it is a job, and it mentally strains you at times. Most artists spend at least 2 to 3 times the amount of time painting just thinking about the painting and how to fix the painting and what the painting needs. You lay there in bed staring at the ceiling thinking about the painting. I've been planning on painting this painting for a couple of years now. It's been sitting there in my paintings I might like to do one day, and so I think about how I would accomplish that. And what does the painting need? What is it about it that I love so much? And am I showing that? Because every painting that I paint, it's the light that I'm trying to show, the reflections, the effect of the light on the subject. If I don't get that, I don't get anything. Well, this concludes another one. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me again for the next one. Happy painting.